Welcome back. I'm Neil,
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
and this is the 411. We're covering everything in the football world. Just a couple guys, a bit.
Earbuds flying.
I'm so excited.
Dude,
No basement.
COVID-19's kind of forced our hand. We are going totally virtual using Zoom video platform. Nothing's gonna stop us from doing the pod.
Podcasting will continue throughout
Absolutely.
the epidemic.
There's
Praying-
no other way.
So
praying for everybody out there. Just know that your podcast dose will be fulfilled. We're here. Let's go.
Get this
Come
thing
on.
going.
all right, so boys, how are we doing? This is like week.
So for me,
now.
no complaints for me. My dad is giving me a quarter for every correct Jeopardy question I get. So me and my family grinding out Jeopardy. I've gotten 7 correct Final Jeopardy answers in a row. No
Yeah.
big deal. Mike, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm really solid. I am. A lot of changes, obviously. It's nothing we've ever been through before, but we're getting through it.
It's
you
a
know?
weird time. How are you, Neil?
It's very weird.
I'm doing all right. It's a little frustrating not being able to leave my house.
Yeah.
But we're battling through it. I'm shocked that I haven't killed either of my 2 younger siblings yet.
I'm
It's
in the same
quite
boat, brother.
surprising how much we've just bonded together over this time of being
I love it.
in our house.
I love it. I love it.
Online school is kind of a force, I gotta say.
I don't
Not
mind
a
it.
fan. Not a fan.
You're not a fan either?
I'm not a huge fan.
All right, I want to hop into it. I want to get on the podcast.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
So we're talking about, obviously, Brady signing.
On the next one. All right, let's go. Next time.
We're going to talk about Patriots news in general, what our views are for next season, who's going to take that skipper spot at quarterback, and additionally, all the free agency signings that have happened and we think might happen. So, Michael, hop in. Tom, what are your thoughts?
All right. Wow. Well, started off. He's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
It is still rocking my world. I woke up, my brother goes, Pat, Tom Brady is gone. I laid back in bed like I knew that, like I knew this was going to happen. And then like a couple days ago, like it hit me. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, he's not our quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't think it's going to hit us till week 1. But besides the point,
Agreed.
it's sad, right?
Yeah.
But we got to move on. Tom Brady is a Buccaneer. And hey, look, wait, hey, let us sink in, okay? So I just want to jump right in, honestly. One of the biggest question marks, regarding Brady, can he still throw the deep ball? Like, sling it effectively,
hold on. Brady has never been able to throw the deep ball.
No, that's Rodgers.
Ever, dude.
It's also
Brady,
not true.
Brady has never had an impressive arm. He, of course, is never fast. He is the greatest quarterback of all time because of his intellect, his football IQ. He's never had the best arm at all.
If he had to, he could throw the deep ball. But when you're 43 years old, you lose a little bit of arm strength.
I'm sure you're right. Okay.
So anyway, and then number 2, can he still throw the ball accurately? Because last year,
Yeah.
There were some question marks.
lot of slip-ups.
Yep.
I think the question is, like, can he still throw the ball to the level that, us as Pats fans and honestly the whole country and world knows that he can throw the ball? Is that going to
Can he throw it
I
to
think
win a
you're-
Super Bowl? That's basically what the question is.
Yes. And I think we saw the real beginning of that last season. His real decline in health. Nobody really wanted to talk about it.
Oh, everybody wanted to talk about it. Everybody's like, what is happening to Brady? Is this decline?
Not Pats fans.
I
Pat fans
did-
did
Oh,
not
no.
want to talk about it.
Okay,
I
no
didn't want
one
to
wanted to talk about it, but it was a big topic. It was a huge topic to talk
Oh,
about.
agreed.
Declining or not.
It was
So,
kind of
but anyway, to answer number 1, I think maybe. I know that sounds obvious, but let's take some things into account. New England babied him towards, the last few years of his New England campaign. He wasn't expected to make any crazy passes or really anything out of the ordinary for – okay. Tampa Bay is a lot different, okay? Winston was a gunslinger. I think the 30 picks kind of speak for themselves and sum up his stint as a Buccaneer. But I don't see the offense taking, like,
his 30 touchdowns and also 30 interceptions in a season is an NFL record.
I know.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, but I don't see the offense taking like a 180 spin and changing their entire game plan for Tommy. I know he's the GOAT, but you need to think realistically. This guy is a 43-year-old quarterback, and I think it's hard to kind of expect an offense to kind of change everything for him. You know what I mean?
know.
But I think he's going to be required to do a lot more in Tampa than he was in New England. I mean, obviously, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and that upgraded tight end unit is an
Amazing
upgrade over the
supporting
New England
cast.
weapons. Yes.
Yeah.
And probably it's going to be better than New England last year and probably this year too, honestly. Which brings you to my next huge question on whether or not he can throw the deep ball. Because we both know these are deep threats, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. But for Tom to have success, he has to be able to sling it. And hold on, sorry. That may sound obvious because it is the weakest part of his game. But the Buccaneers are no stranger to throwing it deep. And Brady, like Pat said before,
True.
never had the biggest arm. And I think if you take his biggest weakness and you take the Buccaneers' biggest strength, whether it was the Buccaneers' biggest strength or Winston's biggest strength, the deep ball is a big part of their offense. And if Brady can't grow accustomed to that, I think the Buccaneers might have some trouble.
Agreed to an extent because I think, his ego is going to walk in the room 5 minutes before he does. And just in the sense that they're going to, yes, he's going to have to adapt to their offense and Bruce Arians' style of coaching. He's the coach right there, right?
It's Arians. That's a question I was actually going to ask. Is he going to have to adapt to the style of the Bucs, or is it the Bucs
going to have to adapt to him?
Like I said, no. I think he's going to have to adapt to the Bucs.
They're going to,
because
to an extent, he's going to expect them to adapt to him.
No, because here's the thing: the Buccaneers have a culture. Okay, they have a culture that they're building, and I know people say like you look at the most irrelevant teams, and the Buccaneers are probably in that top 10 list. I really beg to differ. Buccaneers are not an irrelevant team at all, and I think
not anymore.
Well, yeah, but I think they have a real culture there. Dude, if you look at since 1976, I think they became a team. They have the lowest QBR out of all combined quarterbacks for our franchise. They have the lowest, like 53 or 54 or something. Enter Tom Brady.
Right.
You got to see what happens. You know what I mean? So I think it's just going to be really difficult to kind of sit here and say, yeah, the Buccaneers are going to adopt to a 43-year-old aging and declining quarterback. I know he's Tom Brady, but it's just really hard to grasp that idea when you look at the stats instead of the name.
Agreed.
Here's what I have to say.
Yep.
One thing that I want to talk about is I think Michael mentioned this at one point in one of the podcasts. Tom Brady Sr. has mentioned that he believes since 2017 that the relationship with Tom and the Patriots was going to end bad. He was on quote saying that.
Yes.
And then he came out saying 20 years is about 4 lifetimes in the sports world. It's pretty unusual. People don't leave one franchise for another. It's like that's not unusual.
Yeah.
Like he said that we saw this happen. I thought he was going to retire a Patriot, but now that I think about it, it makes sense.
The only others I can think of are Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan and Dirk Nowitzki. Those are the only guys I can really think of. And that's all basketball.
Like that just have so consistently done that. And you got to think about this dude. Like Belichick tried to trade him.
Yeah, that
obviously did not settle easy.
I read an article of that
was the straw that broke the camel's back. Absolutely.
Well, no, that also happened 4 years ago, dude.
Right.
So I don't think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Honestly, if you really want to get on that point, I don't want to get too off into a tangent, but if you really want to get on that point, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when the Patriots refused to trade for Stephon Diggs. So March 16th or March 14th. I'm sorry, my days get so messed up. I think it was 16th. That's when the tampering period begins for non-restricted free agents with their teams. And Stephon Diggs happened to be traded that same day. Now Stephon Diggs was traded at I'm not sure exactly what, I think it was like 8 o'clock or something, whatever the time was. Maybe it was like 5. But anyway, 90 minutes later, Tom Brady was at Robert Kraft's doorstep telling him, I'm not going to be a Patriot anymore. You don't just show up to Robert Kraft's house unannounced, so you can't tell me that he didn't talk to Kraft in advance saying hey, Diggs, no Brady.
And you know what that tells me? That Brady has the respect for Kraft and not for Belichick.
Yeah.
No, I think honestly, it just common sense. You go to the owner to say you're not going to be there. You don't go to the coach.
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah,
That's
and
my
that's a good
opinion.
question to bring up. So one thing that I do want to talk about, though, how I looked at this whole situation after I woke up that morning, my brother telling me he's gone, me contemplating for a while, me realizing that he's gone. These are the conclusions that I've jumped to, and this is the perspective that I'm looking for it at. I want to look at it in comparison to the move for Brady and the move for not Tennessee, Tampa Bay,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
The move for Brady, the supporting cast, first of all. Look at that. Like, think about that. We got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard.
Yep.
That is uncomparable to a Adrian Julian Edelman and Jacoby Myers.
Man, and possibly a Mohamed Sanu. Maybe.
Dude, and it's also just a change in pace. Warm weather. Let's talk about that. Warm weather.
I was talking to Pat earlier about this today.
What's been Brady's kryptonite for his entire career?
Warm weather.
Every
That's what it always comes down to.
Every time we go to Miami.
And I think that that's gonna at the very least cost him 2 losses. I don't see it. I think if you're like net the law, I would say 2 losses because of weather.
I think
can't play in the heat.
This was like, I think the saddest St. Patrick's Day of all time.
I forgot it was St. Patrick's Day.
All right, there was no huge parade in Boston. There was no green Bruins jerseys. There was no, Governor Baker leaving his job early from running the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, ordering a security detail to drive him to Warren Tavern in Charlestown, and then taking shots with all the townies. And then on top of all of that, Tom Brady announces he's officially not coming back to New England and going to Tampa. What?
God, all right, like meme. Hold on, sorry. Meme pages on Instagram where it's like, oh, guess who just signed with this team? It's like, Aaron Rodgers just signed with the Colts. Like those joke things.
Yeah. But
I could have sworn that years back there was a Tom Brady to Buccaneers thing. Could have sworn.
Yeah,
it's just
it doesn't seem real.
And Michael, you said it earlier. It's one thing just saying out loud, like, we accepted it. It's not gonna hit us until we see him run out of the tunnel in a red jersey.
Oh my God, I saw it in Madden today, and I choked up a little bit.
Gross,
dude. And one of the things that I want to mention though, Bruce Arians holds a way different coaching style than Belichick does.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's going to be a major change of pace. He's won Coach of the Year before, so he's a good coach. It's not like he's some bum. Let's look at it from the move from Tampa, right? Third lowest attendance in the NFL for games. Low attendance to the Bengals and the Chargers. Chargers are last. Not good.
Yeah, Chargers are renting a stadium from someone else.
Dude, bad. And interceptions in the Buccaneers organization have been imminent through Jameis Winston's entire career. He's thrown 88 interceptions through his entire career. 4 seasons. He's thrown 88 interceptions. They're used to a gunslinger. It was time for this team to
Winston threw 30 picks this year. Tom Brady threw 29 picks over the last 4 seasons.
Yeah. So this team needed to move on. Some quick things I want to talk about with you guys. And these are just some facts. Brady, no matter how old he gets, no matter how old he gets, no matter how much that guy gets beat, that guy is magic. I don't care. He's magic.
He's magic.
He's magic. And when I say that, his IQ isn't going to leave. Okay? His body might get deteriorated as hell, dude. That guy's IQ will only go up.
But I'm going to ask you this. How far can his IQ take him?
Completely agree. I'm just saying that that IQ will always be with him. Neil, you look like you have something to say.
Well, you guys were talking about his IQ. This is a little off tangent. I really don't want to go down this road too far. Does that make him a coach one day?
No, he's too big for that.
He's
maybe
too,
like partial ownership or something, but no.
He's too big on the whole TB12 brand.
Exactly.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No way.
Yeah.
So here's the questions that I want to ask, and I've thought about these questions. What do you guys think about this? Will he be able to deal with a more? And the only way I can put it is a flashy razzle-dazzle offense. Like,
No.
That's a good way to
Do you know
put
what I
that,
mean?
honestly.
It's a good way to
No.
put it. They're
I
very
don't think
flashy.
he can. I
Yeah?
don't think he can. Because, all right, ready? I want you to look at Jameis Winston and Tom Brady. Jameis Winston, big arm, relatively young, kind of mobile, a little bit, not too much, a little mobile, pretty immature. I mean, young guy, got a little bit of a history,
Right.
Not the most accurate guy. Now it's like a Brady,
Right.
older, mature, not a big arm, really accurate, doesn't move. They are complete opposites. Bruce Arians knew exactly what he was doing. He could have opted in for Teddy Bridgewater, who had like 15 less years and probably a quarter of the cost, but he didn't because they're a little bit too similar to Winston compared to Winston to Brady.
Right.
Arians knows what he's doing, and I think, please.
I definitely agree. Tom Brady is used to winning the psychological game.
Agreed.
Tom Brady wins the psychological game.
He has the
wins,
best cold arm ever.
He wins through the numbers. He doesn't win through razzle-dazzle, like juke plays, big tosses down the field. He wins, boom, 5 yards, boom, 5 yards, 10 yards, first down. Do what he has to do and get a touchdown and get off the field.
And nothing more.
Nothing more. That's not, and this is all up to question, that's not how the Buccaneers have run their organization. And maybe that's attested to how Jameis Winston plays because he's the leader of the offense.
Agreed.
So maybe we'll see a change in that.
I think it's a big factor, and I think especially because as a coach you want you're not stuck with a quarterback, but you're kind of stuck with a quarterback. So you should try to build an offense. You're not going to build the offense around like a wide receiver. Like it just doesn't work that way. You build the offense around the quarterback and how the quarterback does things. And I think Jameis Winston's kind of cocky nature. I think that's the right word.
Yeah, I said he was immature. I think he's not.
So we can actually kind of dive into that later. But then are we going to see a quarterback swap?
Winston's not coming here. The Patriots have already said they don't want Winston.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. Can I hop into the Pats?
Absolutely.
I have one more question I want to drop and totally dive in the Pats. Yep. And I think this is the most important question that Brady is going to face. The Bucs have such an average offensive line. It is not a fantastic offensive line, and Brady faced trouble with the Patriots offensive line, who was better than the Bucs. And the Patriots offensive line was average. They were not fantastic.
Maybe a little bit above, a tiny bit above, but
the Bucs are worse than the Patriots. And look, I'm going to assume that they're going to draft some linemen in the draft because that's where they need it right now. They're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
But is that going to affect the way Brady plays? Because when Brady scrambles, he's screwed, especially at an old age. What do you guys think that'll do to his game and the Buccaneers game in general?
So I kind of want to hop into this one first. So I think I know I've talked about this before on other pods. Brady has never been a scramble quarterback ever.
He can't move. Of course not.
He can't. But he recently has been moving.
No, 43 years old. I cannot get on board with what you're about to say.
Stop. No. Hold on.
I can't.
He has been – leave me alone. Give me a second. Let me explain. He has to move, especially with, as Pat said, the mediocre offensive line. Don't get me wrong. He's no Russell Wilson. He's no Deshaun Watson. He's no Jackson, obviously. But he moves when he has to, and he moves not because he wants to and I have this opportunity I can use my legs and move. He has to survive. He's 42 years old. One bad hit, he's done.
I know.
And it goes back to Pat's point of what did they do?
No. Tom Brady cannot move. No.
Right. I'd like to say this point, the whole surviving thing. When a tortoise is running away from some predator, it's still slow, dude. That doesn't mean it's going to get away. If Tom scrambles, the play usually does not end successfully for him. And the Bucs are going to face a problem with that. What do? Are they going to do little short route plays and get these guys short in the field? But they're long threats. They're deep threats.
Do you think, 2 follow-up questions, do you think this will be Tom's last year? Hold on.
No.
And
it's a 2-year extension.
B, if so, does it's a 2-year extension, so he's assuming he's going to play for 2 more years. If he decides after this year, I'm done, I have to retire, then will it be because of how badly he took a beating because of the offensive line, or just because, I made
No, it's because he goes 8-8 in a Tampa Bay uniform. He wants to call it quits because he wants to salvage whatever legacy he has.
Tom Brady is a winner. He has been on quote. I love this quote.
Always will be.
I just like winning. He likes winning. So when it comes to a point where he's
if
not
Brady goes
winning,
13-3, you'll have to walk him off with like a cane if he really needs to.
Dude, if Tom Brady is consistently going 13-3 with any team, he will play till he dies.
Yeah,
Once Brady isn't good and isn't completing isn't throwing good passes, and he really hasn't. Once Brady sucks, dude, he won't be. He's gonna keep grinding until and I hate to say it, but we all saw this coming. Brady is a Favre type. Brady does not know when to hang up the pads.
I think you should have after the Rams Super Bowl. I said it in one of the first podcasts.
Peyton?
Yeah, dude. Well, Peyton.
No,
yeah,
I don't
that
think.
That guy won a Super Bowl and was like, I am out of here.
That was a smart move on Peyton Manning.
I don't think so. I think the best one. Best one was John Elway. John Elway left at the exact point. He was still physically able, and he retired when he had to because he won a Super Bowl. Peyton was not. He had the worst QBR in the NFL, and he somehow won the Super Bowl. He should have left years before that, dude.
Doesn't matter. He figured out how to win a Super Bowl on a high note.
His defense figured out how to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So New England Patriots.
Let's talk.
Here we are. Let's go. It's 2020. We got a new era. We got a new quarterback. Bad start to the year, but as of right now, our starting quarterback is Jarrett Stidham. Now, let's poll the boys. Confidence from 1 to 100. How are we feeling?
Jarrett Stidham?
One word. I want one number. One number only.
What is 100 like?
1 to 100.
Is 100? I am
1 to 100. Don't overthink it. 1 to 100.
Is 100? I'm totally confident in this guy.
Yes.
Negative 5.4.
Pat.
This is what I'm gonna have to say.
Pat, give me a number. I need a number. That's it.
40.
Okay, so under 80, which is kind of where my benchmark was. As expected. I am very indifferent with what's going on.
Me too.
On one hand, I'm all about the future. So, tanking for Trevor Lawrence, cutting everyone with a big cap hit, anything, honestly, to get ready for the future. But on the other hand, the Pats don't tank, and they haven't for a while. So I can't get on board with the idea with that either. I think I just want to roll with Stidham and see what he's got. Playing under Brady for a year must have given him something, he could be a solid starter. I was talking to Pat earlier about it. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Sat under Brett Favre for a year. He's a future Hall of Famer.
I love that.
Look at who's the one I said? Oh, Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying Alex Smith's a Hall of Famer, but he's a pretty solid quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of the league.
Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady.
Bledsoe is a very solid quarterback.
Taylor's old as time, boys.
Yes.
Kidding me? The other thing I want to think about, dude, Stidham is under there,
honestly, another one, Lamar Jackson under Joe Flacco. Different play styles, but it's still the same ideology.
And you got to think about, sorry, go ahead.
Which is kind of why I'm saying Jarrett Stidham under Tom Brady. You're under the GOAT for a full season. Give me a second, all right? My overall thoughts are just that Bill's got a plan, okay? And I think that as a Pats fan, you got to trust him because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
He let Brady go for a reason. He didn't sign any quarterbacks for a reason. He didn't trade for Andy Dalton for a reason. Now, Andy Dalton's a very minor piece, just like the whole Stephon Diggs thing. But Andy Dalton was a relatively, I'm not going to say he's young, but he's not old. He's a, fine, decently aged quarterback. He has playoff experience. He can still throw the ball, Belichick didn't go for him. He says, you know what? We don't need to compete with Andy Dalton under the helm right now. We have another option to pursue. He's at least got some idea of where this franchise is headed post-Brady, which is why I have some confidence going into that.
I want to mention that Bill Belichick is still our head coach. And Bill Belichick is the greatest. He's amazing.
Belichick also said a few years ago in an interview that he didn't want to coach into his 70s. He's now 70.
Right. So one of the things that I want to talk about, and I think Michael precursed this super well. The whole, Brady Bledsoe deal, the whole Favre Rodgers deal. Are we forgetting that our third string quarterback was Jacoby Brissett? Our backup quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo. And our starter was Tom Brady. Let's go through that. Week 7 of that season, that trio on the Niners, the Colts, and the Patriots was 16-2.
Yeah.
They were undefeated at one point, I'm pretty sure.
The 2 losses were from Brissett. The 2 losses were from the Colts,
so
and they were the worst
third-string quarterback.
And they were the worst team out of the 3.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, and for us, completely undisputed. Jimmy Garoppolo, Brissett.
Yeah, but Garoppolo and Brissett had years of seasons under Brady.
Not multiple. Multiple is a stretch, dude.
Garoppolo.
Of course.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that spending time under Brady clearly teaches you something. History has shown that.
Agreed.
Okay? That's all I'm saying. I think, dude, when I saw Stidham, when I heard we signed Hoyer and he's going to be our backup, that means Stidham is going to be our starting quarterback. What went immediately into my head? The pick 6 that he threw against the Jets?
I don't even remember.
I think it was the Jets.
It was Jets. It was
the Jets. We were blowing him out. We took Brady out. We're like, all right, let's see what Stidham's got. Pass complete, interception, pick 6. That scares me. Is he a rookie? He was a rookie last year, right?
Yeah.
Was he a rookie? Was he a rookie? Yes. Should we give him a chance? Yes. Am I a little nervous? Yes. Do I trust Belichick? Hell yes. That's all I have to say. I am hopeful for the future. I am worried for the future, but I believe. Neil, take it away.
That was amazing. So are we hopping into more Pat stuff? Do you guys want to dive into?
Neil, if you got more Pat stuff, Neil, take it away.
Michael, you seem like you have some more Pat stuff, so you can take it away.
So I was gonna combine the two if you don't want to talk about Pats anymore. But I have the free agency. You guys, so Pat and Neil both have free agency where it's like they both have 3 players that haven't been signed yet or have been signed. I'm not sure.
Well, all right. So CBS came out with a list of like 15 or 20 guys, and so I just went through the list and like picked 3 that I thought would be interesting to talk about. But
okay.
No, me and Pat kind of did the same thing in that regard, and then Michael did.
So anyway, I have the Patriots regarding free agency and kind of where they have fared so far.
Okay.
So anyway, I want to obviously focus on the Patriots side of this. So I'm a little bit worried and concerned for the team. And I know my tone is going to change as I start talking about it because as I was actually writing this, I was kind of like, maybe I'm not that concerned. But to start off, I am, and I still stick to that. But anyway, because my theme of the pod obviously has been option A or option B. Option A being, are we like dismantling this team and playing for the future, or are we competing and seeing what happens?
Patriots always compete. Always.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the Patriots tanking. I don't think they'll purposely tank.
And so anyway, so A is like, you work your asses off, build a culture, and try to compete in a few years by developing, your young guys, get under the salary cap, stuff like that, which they currently are not, and basically just revitalize the team. Or option B, hey, screw Brady. We don't need him. We can still go 11-5, 12-4 without him and go to the playoffs as a high seed. By the looks of it, and I know we haven't had the draft yet, so we can't necessarily, dissect all of it.
To be honest, dude, Stidham might not even be our starter. Belichick might just go, boom,
go out
quarterback.
Tua. Boom.
Yeah.
You never know, dude.
Who knows? And we're doing a podcast after the draft just to see. We're doing a podcast in 2 weeks for free agency, all free agency, and see where all the teams are, not just the Patriots. And then 2 weeks after that's the draft, and we're going to do another one regarding the Patriots and how they fare. But anyway, the Patriots haven't made any free agency splashes. And yeah, they never do. But usually they sign like someone, like someone. Last year, for example, free agency, but it was Antonio Brown. That's a bigger someone.
Revis.
But like Darrelle Revis. They signed God, I can't even think of his name.
I have a question.
Anyway, yeah.
Do you remember where you each were when you heard that for real Antonio Brown was?
I was at church.
Sitting,
I got out of
sitting,
church.
sitting right in this desk.
I was at my old job. I was spinning a pizza, and my boss came in because I'd seen a meme that morning that said Antonio Brown going to the Pats. My dad sent it to me or something, and then I was like, "Hey, did you see that?" And we're laughing about it, and then my boss walked in. I was mid spin, and I heard Antonio Brown just got signed by the Patriots, and I was like, "No way!" And it was yeah, it was absurd.
Oh, it didn't pan out. So I think they're playing for the future.
least of his concerns right now.
Yeah, I know. My God. But they're obviously playing for the future. I think that's very evident right now, just given how they've let go of Kyle Van Noy and Jamie Collins. So both of their athletic playmaking linebackers are on different teams. They traded Danny Harmon for what's his name? Jaron Harmon for a fifth-round pick or something. Yep. They let Danny Shelton go. They let Elandon Roberts, another linebacker, go. They're letting guys go. And obviously 4 of those guys that are named are in your front 7. It's a lot of missing pieces. So I think Bill does have a plan. I think you got to get under the cap and build for the future. Does anyone know how many ballpark? Do anyone know how many draft picks they have this year? Don't look it up.
15? 15?
They have 13 draft picks.
13.
Most teams have 7. Okay, just put it because you're 7 rounds. Most teams have 7. Patriots have 13. That's including 3 or 4 third-round picks, which is all from compensatory picks. Another thing to add on to, Belichick's smart. By letting go of Van Noy, Jamie Collins, and Tom Brady, he's going to be getting compensatory picks, which are third-round picks, for next year's draft. He's got a plan. So, I'm gonna paint you a picture, give you a little scenario.
Okay.
Patriots duke it out this year. They play their hearts out, and they go 4-12. Okay, 5-11. Don't play that well. Belichick trades a few of the picks from this draft. Let's say he trades 5 picks.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Next draft, okay? Yeah. Let's say he trades a few of those picks. So next draft, he's got 18 draft picks or something, right? What's stopping? And I know I'm rambling, but you look at the top teams that are gonna suck next year. Jets. Who's their quarterback? Sam Darnold. Giants. Daniel Jones. Chicago Bears. You got Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky. Dolphins. They're gonna get 2 of this draft if the Patriots don't. My point is, all the bad teams.
Yes, Patrick. What's up?
No. Continue, Michael.
All the bad teams have their quarterbacks already, right? They've already got their guys for the future.
Okay.
Cardinals, if they suck, they got Kyler Murray. They're all set, right? Patriots, they don't have a quarterback. So what's stopping Bill Belichick from, let's say the Bengals go 2-14, they've done 1 pick again.
Yep.
What's stopping the Joe Burrow-led Bengals? What's stopping Bill Belichick from going to them and saying, hey, I'm going to give you 7 or 8 draft picks, okay, if you give us the first pick of the draft.
Which will be?
Trevor Lawrence. You know what? Or here's another scenario. You let go of everyone. You let go of Joe Tooney, Stephon Gilmore, Devin McCourty, Edelman, everybody. And you have $90 million in salary space. You know who's gonna be a free agent next year?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. I'm going to leave it there. That's all I'm going to say. Dynasty's not over. Let's trust Bill.
Okay. I like it. So I kind of want to hop into my top 3 free agents right now. Can anyone guess who one is?
Mine isn't listed. Mine is just 3.
I got it. It's Jadeveon Clowney.
David Clowney. 2019 stats. He's got 31 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 13 quarterback hits, and 47 pressures in only 13 games in 2019. My question for you is this. His top 3 teams right now that are looking at him, or analysts have said, all right, this is the most probable fit. So he's most likely to go to this team. Seahawks, Colts, Giants.
Seahawks because he just went there. Colts because they have no pass rush. Giants,
Which
they have a
one
ton of
do you think
space.
is the most probable out of the three for Clowney to end up at?
I don't know the situation that well, but
Giants, they'll pay him.
I don't know.
he also has been underpaid
Giants
his
are
entire
weird.
career. So maybe Giants. I don't know.
Like-
I would say
like
the
my
Giants
dad-
or Seahawks.
My dad's a Giants fan, and I don't know how he does it because I am just so confused all the time with everything that front office does.
Daniel
any
Jones,
given
number
season.
6 pick.
It's just so confusing.
It doesn't make much sense to me. But I would say either Seahawks or Giants.
Anybody. And that's just so it's frustrating coming from someone that's close with Giants fans.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you do? And we've never had to experience that. We're spoiled route. We've been to we've had 6 parades in the past 2 decades. That's
God.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Number 2, Winston. completed 60.7% of his passes.
30 picks.
30 picks. 5,100 yards.
Led the league.
Led the league. That's kind of slept on. And I think it cross-cancels because PEMDAS, with the fact that he threw
88 interceptions.
What was it? Was it 34 touchdowns this year?
Yeah, 33 touchdowns this year.
33.
Became the first quarterback, this is kind of interesting, to throw for 450-plus yards in consecutive games, and also, like I said before, first quarterback to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions this season. No, sorry. His 7 interceptions were returned for touchdowns in a season is an NFL record. Patriots or Chargers? Because the Bears just found their guy, but Patriots or Chargers? What are we thinking?
Chargers.
You don't.
Patriots already said they don't want Winston.
They don't want
You don't
Winston.
see any chance of Winston ending up in New England.
From a direct source from the Patriots, they said we don't want Jameis Winston.
They don't
so
want
I mean,
Winston.
that's kind of your
They-
answer.
It's the simple answer. He just doesn't fit into the system.
Yeah.
And
I
that
don't
comes back to my whole Brady concern.
I disagree with that.
I don't think he fits into the system.
I think Winston
interesting
could fit into
claim
the
because-
system if they give him some key pieces that he could use. But
He
the
won't
thing
fit in.
is, the Patriots don't go out, with the exception of last season, don't go out and get guys for the benefit of Brady or Brady pass quarterback in general. Last year they got Sanu and Antonio Brown. The year before that they got Josh Gordon. Besides those 3, God, I can't think of maybe Randy Moss. I can't think of any guys that they went out and got. And Randy Moss was a rental for a year. They don't go out and get guys. So I don't think that – I think if they were to get Winston, I think it'd be kind of an incentive-based contract and be let's see what you got. Let's see what happens.
So if you think Winston is – what's the best word to describe him? Immature?
Immature. That's my word. I
What
don't think –
makes you think that a quarterback fresh out of college is going to be any more mature than that? And then what is that?
Look at guys like Sam Darnold. That guy's fresh out of college. He had
Dude,
great
fresh out of
maturity.
college. Dude,
And here's the thing. With franchises like that, when it's Sam Darnold, maturity trumps talent sometimes. And when you have a mature guy, you're going to fire the coach because this guy is obviously easy to work with. We're going to get him a good coach. When
Take a
Jameis
guy-
Winston, you fire the player because it's Winston who has the bad attitude.
energy.
It's the one that's got to go.
take a guy like Johnny Manziel.
Now here's a guy.
Johnny Manziel is the epitome of immature.
More relevant. Just gonna raise you one for your own point. Baker Mayfield.
Exactly, dude. And you take a guy like Sam Darnold, who's he's got his shit together. You know what I mean? He's focused.
He's collected.
He's collected. He's cool, calm, and collected. You know what I mean? I don't think that.
And franchise sucks, but he's not gonna lose his cool over it.
I don't think that college. Look, sometimes of course you mature in the NFL over time,
Absolutely.
but I don't think it correlates to you're right out of college, you're an immature person like Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, or Baker Mayfield. No, I don't think that correlates.
You guys like Kyler Murray, who were in Arizona, just went 3-13 or whatever their record was, and he's still holding on. He held on, and he didn't say a word, and he got DeAndre Hopkins. We haven't even talked about that trade. We might talk about that next podcast.
Yeah.
But that's a big trade right there.
Neil, are you all set with your?
So I do have one more kind of random one. Logan Ryan.
Expatriate.
Stats. Finished expatriate. Finished with 113 tackles, 18 passes, defense or batted down, 4 interceptions, and four forced fumbles in 16 games. Being groomed by Cowboys, Giants, Bears. Thoughts?
I don't care.
I mean, honestly,
actually, probably Cowboys just because they
I
let
was
go
gonna
of
say
Byron
Cowboys,
Jones.
too.
Byron Jones is I think Byron Jones. They let go of him, who's like a top 12 cornerback in the NFL. They have no secondary. They let go of so many guys, and I don't know. They're letting go of everyone just so they can pay Dak Prescott, who has proven time and time again that when he doesn't have healthy guys in the field, he has a subpar quarterback at best. And why are you going to give that guy $35-40 million if he's proven that if he doesn't have a top 3 running back in Zeke Elliott and a top 10 wide receiver in Amari Cooper, that he can't perform well? Why are you going to give him that money? That's why I can't really wrap my head around, and that's why I don't understand why you would pay a guy of that, lackluster caliber, if I'm being honest. Why would you give him that money when you have guys like Byron Jones out there and even like Amari Cooper he already got his paycheck. But, I can't think of anyone else right now. Oh, Jalen Smith, the linebacker, star linebacker. You got to pay guys like that who have proven that they can, no matter who's on defense, they can always play at a very high level, whereas Dak Prescott's just proven he can. That's kind of my take on the whole Prescott situation.
But yeah, I'm good. Pat, all you, man.
Melvin Gordon. Let's talk.
Okay.
So right now, so you did free agents. I did big free agent signings.
Okay.
Okay. Melvin Gordon, 2 years. 2-year contract for $16 million.
Yep.
It's the Broncos.
Broncos are going to have a committee this year.
Locke?
Yeah.
Thoughts about Locke? I like him.
He was flashy last year. He flashed a few times being like good, and then he made a few poor choices. But I think
he shows potential. I think he's young.
Me too.
But I think he's got the it factor.
Shot.
He's got the it factor.
You know what I
think
mean?
about that running back core. Phillip Lindsay,
Gordon,
Devontae Booker,
Royce
Freeman.
Yeah. That is a triple
Booker even on the team
threat.
anymore? I don't even know.
Pat, that's
Royce
4.
Freeman. That's pretty good.
I thought you said 3. Sorry.
I don't even know if Booker's still on the team. That's a pretty good committee right there. And you know what? You know what's really good about that? Jake Locke isn't going to have to perform as well as he would if
the running game steps up.
Exactly, because the running game is going to be there. So I don't think all the pressure is going to be on Locke this year, which is so huge for them. Broncos, dude.
What
is
I
it
have
a
to
reach?
say?
Question. Is it a reach to say that the Denver Broncos will be a playoff team next year?
It's not a reach. It's wishful thinking.
I think 9-7 play in Week 17. Mark my words right now.
Yep.
9-7.
I would agree.
Week 17 play in or not. I think that's what it comes down to.
I think it's gonna be
pieces. Noah Fant, a great tight end. Not Emmanuel Sanders. Cortland Sutton.
I was just gonna say Sutton.
Yeah, they have some really good young pieces on that team. Losing Chris Harris, kind of a big blow, but I can't remember his name. They signed someone back last year for free agency. That was pretty good.
Their defense is not what it used to be.
No, not for a few years.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah. I think it took a lot of time to rebuild. There was a lot of after Peyton.
They're still rebuilding.
There's a rebuilding process.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And honestly, if the Patriots can get here, not this upcoming season, but the one after that, if they can get to where the Broncos are at, I'd be very satisfied with where they are. Yep. Because you got a lot of young pieces to build around. You made one big free agency signing, Melvin Gordon, right? Pretty big free agency signing. That's all the Patriots want to do, build your young guys like Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant. I can't think of any defensive pieces right now. And then Jake Locke, your quarterback for hopefully the future. You make a big free agency signing, and you still got some cap room, and the draft hasn't even happened yet. The Broncos are in a prime situation right now. The only problem is you got to go through Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and maybe the Bills. I mean, these are some tough teams you got to go through, which I don't know if the Broncos can do that.
Here's what I got to say. I think Sanders was one of the best free agent pickups this entire year.
For the Niners?
Sanders to the Saints.
That
makes
the Saints.
Sanders to the Saints. Same deal as Melvin Gordon. 2 years for $16 million.
Yep.
I would agree with you on that.
I think about that
If
offense.
you go by team necessities, yeah.
Agreed.
I think about that offense in New Orleans, and I go, Drew Brees, Kamara,
Michael Thomas.
Thomas,
And who else?
Emmanuel Sanders.
Fits right in his wide receiver.
Because
Take
they,
away-
dude,
take
it
away
reminds me a lot
Brees.
of the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones. Who else?
Yeah.
You know, no one. And where they went to the conference championship, but they got their asses kicked and went home, crying. Now you got the Saints who got, their hearts ripped out again to the Vikings in the wild
They
card.
always do. I feel so bad for Saints fans.
But
They're
I
always
think-
so good.
I know, but I think they're such an easy team to kind of game plan against, just like the Patriots this year.
Yeah.
Brady doesn't have – there's no deep weapons there, so you can play, up front.
Mhm.
For the Saints, you had Michael Thomas, no one else to cover, you know?
And now for the most important sign for the Patriots, Matthew Slater. I'm very happy with the signing of Matthew Slater.
I love
$5.3
to hear you're
million,
happy with it.
$2.3 million. I'm like, he is a leader. He is a force to be
Locker
reckoned
room
with
leader.
on special teams. That's right.
Forced to be reckoned with. Love it.
He is.
Love the
I'm a huge
vocabulary that
fan.
Pat Daly
I'm a
uses
huge
to that.
fan of Slater's play. I think he's a nasty, rugged, hard-nosed football player.
Oh, my God. Wow. I want to hear all the comments. I want all the vocab words that Pat has used in the comments.
That's all I got, man. I got
I'm all set. I'm good.
what's it called? I got Slater being a super important move.
Yep.
I got Sanders being a sick move, and
Melvin
I'm interested to see what happens with Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
I'm just very open, very interested. That's all I got.
Sounds good.
I think are we finished?
We're done. Wrapped
I
up.
wrapped up.
I think we
Click it up, boys.
click to the camera. I'm Neil,
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
and we'll see you next week. Let's go.
Boys,
Let's
rock
go.
on. That was awesome.